This is going to be the Dr. Phil portion of this video. Self-improvement is important, and you should do it. And we're going to do it with our players, because, well, we have to get better if we want to win a championship in this series in some point within the next, 20 years. Jason Tatum can score inside, but I was looking at practice before opening night, and dude was a little slow on defense. You look at this one here, I don't really like that contest on Hazonia. You know, you could have went a little faster, could have jumped a little higher. I'm not a fan of that one, Tatum. We got to get you in the gym and really working on your defense so you can turn into an all-around player. And you'll see here that I'm choosing to go with his defense a little more than his playmaking right now. I could even bring the playmaking down a little bit more. I mean, you can work on that in your third and fourth seasons. And his three-pointer as well as mid-range, those definitely need to be improved. I mean, the mid-range is good, but the three-pointer is really important. And, I mean, last season he got better with his three as it went along. But even then, he shot under 30%. And, well, you're going to have to get good in that stuff. So hopefully you can just start doing it. As for Aaron Gordon, I mean, it's pretty much said what I want him to be at this point, which is just a more athletic version of Draymond Green. So his thing is just passing, defense, and three-point shooting. If you can just be effective in those three areas, given what you already can do, you're going to be okay in my book. And if we look at his passing, he's getting pretty good. He's over 60 in all of his areas that you want to be in for that. So that's pretty good. And the defense, it's getting there. He's close to over 80 on help defense and pick and roll defense. So it's a work in progress, but he's definitely going in the right direction, Aaron Gordon. But we also have to remember, Trayvon Duval's on this team now. And he's going to be pushing Elfrid Payton at some point. I don't expect it to be this season, because Duval still has a bit of work to go on his inside finishing, his shooting, and his passing and all that. But he seems like he can be pretty decent. He's also super athletic, and that's always fun, because he and Aaron Gordon, if that ended up being the point guard power forward thing, then we'd be dunking on a lot of people's heads. But now we got 6 games that we're going to be simulating here just to see where this team's at. And I'm not going to lie to you, the results after the first 6, one, we went 3-3, that's pretty cool. The individual performances, though, they confused me a bit. First and foremost, holy Evan Fournier. Dude just went off. Was he, having his feelings hurt because we had him on the bench last season? I mean, he was a good 6th man for us. I was expecting him to put up a solid, 12 or 13 points. Dude goes off for 31 against the Spurs. And he's doing it, efficiently as well. I don't know. I mean, I was expecting him to be a nice scorer for us last season. He kind of disappointed, and he eventually grew into being really nice for us. Do I expect this to maintain itself? No, I don't. I mean, he's not the first or even second option within the offense, and he's still going to be the 6th man, so we can definitely enjoy when he goes off, but I'm not expecting this to keep up throughout the entire season. But hey, do your thing regardless, Fournier. Now, if you look for Jason Tatum, he's down there a little bit, only 11 points a game, not efficient at all. His three-pointers are still awful, and his overall percentage isn't that good, and it's weird because last season he was really efficient for us. This one here against the Hawks, I mean, 4 for 13, only 8 points. Just a rough night. I mean, maybe Taurean Prince was defending him at the 3 spot, even though I'm showing him posting up on Schroeder for most of this. I don't know, he had a tough time against Atlanta for some reason, but he also had himself quite a poor game against the Lakers. Only 4 points in this one, missing 3 three-pointers. Who's a really good defender on the Lakers? Maybe the center, Zubats, just blocked all of Tatum's shots. I don't know, maybe Ingram has become a lockdown defensive player and Tatum couldn't get through him. I mean, Tatum's not that heavy. He's only 205 pounds, so he might not be able to just push around Brandon Ingram when he wants to drive to the rim. But he's also had good performances. I mean, against Miami, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 for 15 from the field. Going up against Justice Winslow, who's probably one of the best defenders in the league at this point, and he had no problem against him. So Tatum's season makes no freaking sense. And actually, it's going to make even more of less sense if that was proper English, once we see the next opponent where he had a strong game against. But you'll notice, like, he's having some good performances and then some bad ones, so I don't know, hopefully he just figures it out. But look at this one, against San Antonio, 19-5-5. You know who's the small forward for the Spurs? It's Kawhi Leonard, who's like the best defender ever, or something. That's what ESPN told me. So, Tatum's just confusing the crap out of me. He's really good against top-level defensive players, but you have him go against teams that are blah on defense, and suddenly he sucks. So, Tatum's kind of a troll right now, but I do think he'll be picking it up and being more consistent as we go along here. Aaron Gordon's doing pretty good. 16 points, 7 rebounds. The assists are a little lower than I'd like him to be, but 3.7 is cool. I do expect him to get over 4 assists a game as this season continues. Nice game against San Antonio. 14, 10, and 4. I mean, Draymond Green, what did he put up this season? He put up like 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists, and he still made like All-NBA third team. Gordon might have more offensive potential, just in terms of scoring, than Draymond does, because he can finish at the rim probably more frequently. I mean, Draymond finishes at the rim well, but he also can't jump over people's heads the way that Gordon can. And against Miami, a little more scoring on his plate this time. Only 2 assists, 16 points. Maybe he was going up against Nikola Vucevic, and it was just a free lane to the basket, because of course Vucevic is backing up for Whiteside now. Although I think Miami was actually playing him like at the starting 4 when I looked, which that's not very smart. Some other things to take note of: Hezonja, dude can't shoot right now, which is weird because he was super efficient for us last season. And the other wing shooter, Terrence Ross, well, he's like the greatest shooter ever apparently in the very limited minutes I'm giving him right now. Josh Richardson is our starting shooting guard, can't miss from outside, so that's great, he can just keep on doing that. Trayvon Duval, he's not very efficient right now. He's not playing too many minutes because I kind of expected that one to happen. And if we look at how we're performing, we suck on offense, only 102 points per 100 possessions, but we're still alive because we're awesome on defense. So we are the most boring team in the NBA right now. Hopefully Jason Tatum can just start scoring more.